Hi everybody, Linda Carroll here from my studio, and I'm going to make some more collage magic today. I'm working on my notes from Self and continuing on with my Renaissance ladies. But today I'm going to move her a little bit forward using the collage sheet for this week from my website, collagemagic.com. And I'm just going to be using sections of some of these faces. If you don't know, you can join my website, collagemagic.com, and become a collage magician. It's free, and I try to every week upload a new free collage sheet. But you have to be a member of the site in order to receive these freebies, and it's really easy to go in and sign up and be able to work with the images that I work with in my note to self. So this is this week's offering, and there are 3 women from different time periods. She looks like she's from the 50s. I'd say she's from late 20s, early 30s, and she's from the 40s or maybe early 50s. So I hope you have fun with these. I know I'm going to probably use them in a lot of different collages. And down here at the bottom, there's a little camera you can play with too. Okay, are you ready? I hope everybody's doing well. And I'm sitting here in my studio on this very rainy day. I guess the hurricane or tropical storm is now in Florida, but we are getting the clouds and the rain and a little bit of wind before I think it's going to head further inland and then up through Georgia. So I want to show you what I'm working on today, and I have my 5 by 5 inch paper already cut out. And if you'll remember, the last time we were together, I cut out some underwater scenery from National Geographic, and I used one of the images in the last note to self. And these were the ones I had left, plus this one with this underwater photographer taking pictures. Now you might say, why do I want an underwater photographer in my collage? And I don't, so I'm going to cover them up. Okay, so let's get started. The first thing I'm going to do is glue down my background for my collage, and I'm just using my glue stick and making sure that I cover the entire image. I use Oohoo or Yoo-hoo glue sticks. I find they give me a little bit of a working time after I set the image in place. And I start at one end and then just smooth that up. And of course, I have it too low. Of course I do. Let's see if this is honest to my words. And it is. I can pick it up and reposition it if I need to. If I'm going to leave a little bit of extra space, I want to, in the border, I want to leave it at the bottom, because I do date these and put my name, I sign it. I'm still crooked. Look at that. It's still wonky. Maybe I cut my photo wonky. Let's try up here at the top first. And line it up with my lines on here. so I have a good idea. Okay, there we go. That's one thing nice about working on this cutting mat with the grid on it. I can kind of line up my images and guesstimate where they belong. And I'm just smoothing it down, making sure that I don't have any air bubbles in here, that the edges are all tight, adhered to the paper. You know, I have bone folders and all that, and I like this little ruler because it works really well. Okay, so we have our background down, and you know I love fish, and I love when the fish images overlap the other images in the collage. So let's look at this lady, this Renaissance lady, and I believe she's going to work perfectly in this background to cover up the photographer. And I just love the way these fish are coming up to meet her and greet her. This one looks like he's going to give her a little smooch. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to glue my Renaissance lady down. I'm not really planning on putting anything behind her like I did last week. If you didn't see, or actually it was it was last week. If you didn't see those videos, I'll link them down at the bottom. Okay, so here she is, regally sitting at the bottom of the sea, and I like that she's wearing a pearl. Didn't really notice that before. Okay, so we'll smooth her down. All right, and I want to change her up some and bring her further forward in history. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the eye from this woman, and I'm going to use the mouth from this woman. And let's see what happens. You know, although as I'm looking at this woman, I really like her hair. Let me see what happens if we cut her out. Let's see, I thought I had this all figured out, and I don't. Now, that head would be a little too big, I'm afraid. I could kind of make her a no-neck and put it down here, but then I'm going to cover up my fish. So I think I'm going to stick with my original plan, and I'm just going to cut out her mouth. And actually, this mouth is very similar to her mouth, only the original mouth, only I think it's a little bit more expressive. Okay, so here is our new mouth. And here is the new eye. Now, I think I'm going to trim off this side. Sometimes I like to have the added images overlap the edge, but that was a little bit too much. So, but I kind of like that. Okay, she looks much happier with the smile. Oh yeah, okay. So let's glue this down in place. And then the eye. She'll have her eye on you. And notice the gaze is a little bit different in this eye. This one, she's looking over to the side. And this one, she's kind of focused more outward. Like she's looking at us. And this eye's brown and this eye's blue. Okay, so now we're entering into the oddness of collage that I really love. Let me try these eyes though. I might like these better. Now I just cut these out in a rectangle. Okay, here's that option. And there's this option. What do you think? You know what? Let's try this. I'm going to cut around this eye. And see what happens. What happens if we tilt it? Oh my. I guess if we want to go very Hannah Hawk and follow her way of doing collages, we could turn it that way. It certainly is bizarre looking. Shall we experiment? Oh my goodness. I don't know if I like that or not. I think I like that better. But I still want to keep that shadow over there. Okay. I believe I like that. So let's go ahead and glue the other eye down. My plan has changed, but that's okay. Okay, here she is. Now her gaze changed from her eyes looking over to the side, which was something that was done in most of the Renaissance paintings. The sitter for the painting did not look directly at the artist. They looked away, and sometimes with their eyes cast down. And so when the gaze is like this, you are looking at the painting through the artist's eyes. Okay, and she, the sitter, is not supposed to meet your gaze. It gives him dominance over the figure in the painting, and makes the artist more important than the woman who is sitting for the portrait. Whereas this one, we have changed the gaze to the sitter for the portrait, or the collage, is now looking at us. So she becomes the dominant one in this interaction between her and you or I. She is looking at us. So she becomes the most important figure in this relationship. So you see how a gaze can change radically in a painting or a drawing or a photograph. And instantly the focus changes from the person in the photograph or painting to the artist, or the other way around. So now we have this lady, and she is the dominant one in this relationship. Okay, I found a few other things. This fish was actually in the same photograph, and I want to cut him out and put him in the picture overlapping Our Lady. And let's see what happens when I do that. All right. Now I have this little edge over here that her arm didn't cover. And so this guy is going to take care of that problem right there. So I'm just going to snip off the edge and put him right down here in this corner, and now he is in the forefront of the picture. But she is still the focal point, and it's mostly because of her gaze. Okay. So he becomes he's in the forefront. A little bit of glue down there of this collage now. Okay. Now, I pulled a couple other things to include in the collage. And I found these, I'm not sure what they are. I think they might be plates, drawing of plates. And I thought, well, these might look fun in the background. I have a couple of them. Here. And then I found these sunglasses. And remember when we put sunglasses on our kissy fish last week? And I thought maybe Mr. Fish down here might need some sunglasses. But when I tried it, I didn't really like it. Last week I wrapped the sunglasses around to the back of the fish. Let's see if that helps at all. No, still don't like it. So we'll save those for a later time. I found this cupcake, which I thought might look nice, kind of floating here in the sea. I don't know why. It's just kind of bizarre. And I needed something to pick up the red of her dress. And then I found this strawberry that I thought might be fun too, which it would. And I found this radio that might work, but I think it's too small, so that's not going to work. And then I found these fish tails, and I'm going to cut one of these out and see what happens, and see if it'll work on the edge of the collage. All right, let's move our cupcake and our strawberry. And you could definitely go here, and it's almost as though the fish is curved around this way. I don't like it down there as much. I like it up here. I don't like it up there. I think that it balances out this fish better right about here. Okay, I'm gonna cut. I think I've got a little bit too much of the body of the fish. Okay, I like the way this tail, there's a fish, I don't know if you can see it, right here, swimming by, and I like that this tail overlaps that and gives the collage more depth. So let's put this in just the right place. Okay. All right, so, you know, that gives us more movement through the collage, which I like a lot. Do we need anything else? I found these pulleys, and I really like the detail in the pulleys. I don't know if they'll stand out enough. So let's see here. The one in the middle is a lot lighter in color. Okay, I really love working with tiny elements like this. That really gives her kind of a steampunky look, doesn't it? And very different. Let's see if I can, but I like it. Okay. Now, do we need anything else? We have a fishtail. It's a fishtail. Do we need a strawberry? When I use things like this, I like to put part of it on one side of the collage and then the other part on the other side of the collage. I do kind of like it because these little leaves at the top are pointing towards her. So I'm going to put those in. I had no idea if these would work or if I was going to use them or not, but and again, it could be because it's a strawberry and I just don't know the symbolisms behind it yet. Because what I do when I do a collage note from self, when I'm finished with it, I do go in and look at the symbolism and kind of read the collage like I do, you know, in a dream or in a tarot reading, and see what's actually what the story is behind it, if there is one. Sometimes there's not. It's just it's only a collage. And I found this little scrap of paper on my desk. Oh, I know why. I cut it out because of the number 5 here. It was in this book, and I saw it when I was gluing the other day. And 5 is my number. And I usually try to keep it, but on the other side, it says a sob, which I thought was a little sad. Let's try a sob. Is that what she's kind of covering up? A sob? A sob usually comes from the throat. I don't like it. I like it here. Don't like it there. I like it there. Okay. So it wasn't the number 5 that I needed the other day. It was a sob. That I needed. Okay. Do we need anything else? don't think we need the cupcake. That kind of doesn't work in here, especially with the sob. And these circles, I don't think so. I think the area right here is really important. Another note from self, and I can't wait to find out what the note says in this little bit of collage magic that I've done. Okay, I hope you all enjoyed that. It surprised me the way it turned out, and I love the fish and the expression. Her gaze now is looking at us. I think she wants to tell us something. So I hope you have a great evening or day, whichever the case may be when you're watching this. And I want to wish you all many blessings. And I'll see you again real soon. Bye for now.